And exactly 10 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the KNR Breakfast Show, good morning to you wherever it is that you are tuning in from this morning. It doesn't matter what you're doing, okay? You could be driving to somewhere, driving your kids to school, driving yourself to work, whatever it is you're getting up to this morning. Thank you so much for choosing this here, the KNR Breakfast. This one is Tyler and number one. Before this one, it was a brand new one from Lady Zamar, and it was a Russian roulette. I don't know, LT, if you knew that that one was a brand new one from Lady Zamar.
I didn't.
You know,
Honestly.
I was giving up on Lady Zamar just a little bit,
Why?
but she came back. We are for stale. But never mind that. We do have Lwanda in studio this morning. Good morning, Lwanda. Sorry, did I say Lwando? Did I say Lwando?
You did.
Oh my word. Who the heck is Lwando?
Who the heck?
Lwanda.
Who the heck?
Lwando. Yeah, save me.
Who the heck?
I need saving. Good morning, Lwanda. How are you this morning?
Good morning, guys. Ndiyaphila ninjani nina?
Siphilile nathi enkosi. We heard by the grapevine that this week's topic is talking about tobacco.
Okay.
And I think it's a topic that really affects a lot of us as people. And I think to this day, we still don't understand how dangerous or the dangers of tobacco and the effects of tobacco. But on the 31st of this month, it is going to be World No Tobacco Day. Just a brief history on tobacco. It is a plant whose leaves are dried and processed for smoking, chewing, or vaping. And despite its widespread use, tobacco is one of the leading causes of preventable death worldwide, responsible for more than 8 million deaths annually. So World No Tobacco Day is observed annually on May 31st, led by the World Health Organization, the WHO, to raise awareness about the harmful effects of tobacco and to tobacco use, and advocate for effective policies to reduce consumptions. Is this true, Lwanda?
What? You just read all of that and then you ask,
Is it true?
yes, of course that's true. Yes, tobacco is linked to a lot of diseases. I don't know the numbers from the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Is it World Tobacco Day on the 31st? Yes.
That is true as well.
Okay, thank you, Lwanda, for your time and just being here. Truly, I appreciate that. I have to reiterate that
See you
as
next
much as
week.
I can.
See you next week.
Now,
I
the
could
first
hear that
question.
coming. Yeah. In fact, Lwanda was tickling.
No, man, you guys, I'm spreading a lot of love this morning. How would you say tobacco harms our health?
Sure. Okay. Tobacco is linked to a lot of cancers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have lung cancer. So one way to say this is, of all the people in the world that have ever had lung cancer, a significant percentage of them are smokers. That's one way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get tobacco linked to bladder cancer, cervical cancer, cancer of the mouth, cancer of the throat, all kinds of cancers.
Mm-hmm.
Because cigarettes have these carcinogens. Carcinogens are things that have been identified to cause cancer. So xa kusithethwa kusithiwa ibhotile yeplastic le inamanzi, if you expose it to heat, you release certain carcinogens. It means that you are releasing things that can form cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. So tobacco, jembe sicha, has carcinogens that the person is, in a way, inhaling, and then it carries to cause cancer. That's one. So it's cancer and multiple kinds of cancers.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is tissue damage. So one of the tissues, as noted angazo, is blood vessels.
Mm-hmm.
You have blood vessels almost everywhere. Blood vessels carry blood all over your body.
Mm-hmm.
So on the extremities, it might damage your blood vessels such that there's poor blood flow.
Oh, no.
So but less sensitive, let's say, in the hands and toes, because those are the extremities. But even that can cause other problems, right? You can have issues maybe that relate to kidney function because it's damaged the blood vessels in that area. You can have a guy who smokes struggling with erectile dysfunction because blood simply doesn't flow in there the way that it is supposed to.
Yeah.
It's many different things where the underlying thing is this damage to the blood vessels. So poor vision, cataracts and that kind of thing, because there's blood vessels that supply the eye, right? You can have heart or stroke, again, blood vessels in the brain get damaged, you get a stroke or an aneurysm. Blood vessels in the heart get damaged and you have a problem and you have a heart attack. You can have struggle with hypertension as well because of smoking. The last one I can think of is obviously like things like chronic obstructive disease, COPD, in this emphysema, where the person has trouble breathing, because again there's trouble to the airways. The lungs have I always think about grapes, thing about the lungs. Like you have these pipes as so umoya, as needs that branch and branch and branch, and then they get damaged, and then umoya simply can't get in as easily or get out of the lungs as easily. The last one maybe is immune system. So it will damage immune system. Yalom will be more prone to diseases, especially things like TB or pneumonia. Yeah.
Sure, that's a lot. I'm actually starting to think that it could just be cigarettes that makes us sick.
Wow.
They're linked to everything.
My goodness.
They link to the brain as well. It does a lot.
A lot, yeah. So in teens, we can also talk about brain damage there. So umdu is not using their brain capacity to the max because umdu is smoking cigarettes.
You are speaking the truth. I know Lwanda is speaking the truth. I'm a witness of it, okay? Let's go to our next question. So I'm already scared. I've never smoked cigarettes. I don't want to smoke cigarettes. I think after this, it's actually going to be a message to all the smokers out there that, listen, man, stop it, or ma'am, just stop it. Love yourself. Love yourself. Now, there's so many reasons why people use tobacco, but my second question is that...
what are those reasons?
People say it relieves them of stress. So I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Or maybe it's just the addiction side of it as well, that after you get whatever feeling that tobacco gives you, and then there's a feeling and then you want to stick to it. Yeah. And so you keep going back to the use of tobacco. And I don't know what else, truly. I don't know. Yeah. But is e-vaping, which is e-cigarettes, safer than smoking?
Yeah. Common question. Very common question. And, the answer to this question usually is a yes, in short.
Okay.
But people then don't hear that. They hear that e-vaping is safe. E-cigarettes, or vaping is safe. That's not the same thing. Are e-cigarettes safer than traditional cigarettes? Yes. Are they safe? No. Two different things.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we talk about cigarettes, there's combustion there. You're actually burning a cigarette, and that releases a good 7,000 plus toxins. A lot of toxins are being released in a light class. Different. 7,000 is a big number.
It is. It really is. Yes.
Because kuthethwa carbon monoxide, kuthethwa tar, kuthethwa so many different things, right? And with an e-cigarette, you're not getting that. But are we still getting the carcinogens and chemicals? Yes. From the e-cigarettes, we are.
Okay.
So we've spoken about comparing a brand instead of talking about the active ingredient, right?
Yes.
So when we come to e-cigarettes, singayenza lo mistake nalapha of saying e-cigarettes, and we're doing a disservice. It depends what's in the damn thing, right? Because you can get an e-cigarette that has
exactly,
THC,
yes.
an e-cigarette that has nicotine, and how much nicotine.
Yeah.
So now we're going to talk about, no, e-cigarettes are fine. And what's in the thing? And then we take the conversation kakuhle now. But xa sithetha nje in general,
Mm-hmm.
the e-cigarettes would still have nicotine, and unfortunately, umntu is still likely to get addicted. Apha ke ngoku kude kwavela into ekuthiwa, I think EVALI. It's
Evil.
no, it's vaping associated lung injury. I think that's what they call
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Ew.
So
Ew.
there's still problems there. Not as well studied as cigarettes because ziyafika. So asiyazi bana a person who vapes for 10 years compared to someone who smokes for 10 years, it's in yeah.
Got it. Yeah, it's not as complicated as you would think. So e-vaping is a lot less complicated than actual tobacco, but you need to know what's in there as well in order for you to say, is it safe at all? So the question is it safe? No, but it's safer than cigarettes. Yes.
Yeah, nalomdu. So how do you, if someone smokes one cigarette a day and someone who smokes an e-cigarette 8 hours a day, because that's also a thing, right? Lomdu maybe drives a Bolt. The land ihlala ikuye esandleni. Okoko. Yeah, so we need to be assess here, are we comparing apples to apples? Right?
Yeah.
Because we try a cigarette, 2 minutes we lash, and that's that. And the e-cigarette, for hours.
For hours.
Right?
For hours. That's true. That's true, Lwanda. Of course, there are benefits to quitting tobacco. I think clear conversations are going on. We've gotten to maybe just a little bit of a fraction of a knowledge of what the benefits are, because that's my next question. But I think the benefits are saving your life.
Correct. So the benefits of that, you avoid everything that we've spoken about, the cancers and that are caused by smoking. You know, you have improved health, you have improved immune system, improved organ function, right? Yeah.
So why is it that tobacco is addictive? What's in there?
Ezi zinto zifika zizenzela indawo yohlala apha emzimbeni. So you know that thing where you listen to a song and it's like, oh, I didn't even know I needed to listen to the song. Right? It's like, oh, it's so nice.
Yes.
But then I didn't miss it before, you know, but now that I have, hey, I want to listen to this thing, put it on repeat. So you didn't know before that you had icuba. But once you try, el creates pockets, the nicotine creates pockets up in your tissues. That can only be filled or satisfied by nicotine, right? So the only thing that's going to satisfy you is listening to that song again. I want that song. It's like music. No, right?
Hectic, yeah.
So only now the nicotine can sit there and produce the satisfaction. Like, yeah, this feels good. That's why I'm going to nicotine patch, because we are still delivering nicotine through the patch. You are still taking a gum that has nicotine. That nicotine is going to be absorbed through the blood vessels into your bloodstream and go and sit in those pockets that have been created over the years because of your smoking. If you get and then you're going to be like, yeah, that feels good, because then or a craving.
So is that a nicotine patch healthier then?
Because I know combustion and now we're just talking nicotine as the toxins and those kind of things. So compare lo introducing the nicotine emzimbeni through smoking, or lo introducing the nicotine through a gum or a patch, way safer. So FDA, WHO as Mr. Tangazo, SAPRA apha eMzantsi, they recognize as izinto that can assist umntu on the journey to stop smoking.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, because then you just fight the habit.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, it's very psychological. A lot of things are psychological. Ukutya amazipho. So lo mntu utshayayo utya namazipho. Umntu lona onengqondo ezulayo. Umntu lo onengqondo ezulayo ufuna isoloko edumdeliswa, yabo. So funeka ufumane ezinye izinto, you know, it could be scribbling, it could be drawing, could be art. Find something else ezawuphazamisa le ngqondo yakho that is overactive. Besides ezi zinto zokuthi, okay, I'm just going to play a video game, I'm just going to smoke. Ufuna into ezamphazamisa nje okoko, you know. So then if you go to a psychologist, what are you avoiding? And then what's wrong with that? And then and then that can take but it will solve that. We think that this person has a problem, your child, but I can't have a problem, your child. Or a problem of not being able to apply their mind in other things.
I get it. Is there a way that the tobacco industry is targeting the youth, especially?
I think so. I think so, yeah, because smoking, it's the coolest thing. Smoking is the coolest thing.
Literally.
In any movie, in any,
the
smoke, like they blow the smoke
like they pros.
It's
cool for this.
Oh, goodness.
That's true.
The effects of just light a cigar or everything else in the movie quiets down, it's like we must just focus on this burning cigarette.
Shame on us,
smoking and alcohol are made to be the coolest things because most likely uyindo ethile as a character in this movie. So is staring, I'm who's anti-alcohol and anti-tobacco and says, hey, I'm going to do a campaign on this. That's what
Alti was saying yesterday. You can't sell a good soul.
Exactly. You can't.
That's what I was saying yesterday. But I think it's time to, Lwanda, there's this cough that is so irritating that smoking people get usually. Is there like a quick way to solve it? Let's say if they go to the pharmacy, do they get something quickly to solve it? Or is it a cough that you just go to the doctor for? Just hospital vibes.
It depends, right? But you don't that's causing it. I do find people at the pharmacy from time to time. I figure the city, I tried this cough mixture. Nalea. I've been through 3 brands. So what do you have? And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. If you have a problem and you've been coughing for 3 weeks, that's not a cough mixture problem.
That's a doctor problem.
Yeah, that's not a cough mixture problem. You need to go see a doctor.
It's a you problem.
So into bayicinga lo mntu uzawufumana ilozi nje uzawuthi ingxaki seyikhona ngoku yebo uyambona ngusuna laqhuthe ephwethe okoko yebo there's problems now with phlegm with tissue damage emqaleni njalo njalo khona into eyenzekayo and ayizoncedwa these cough mixtures or lozenges or whatever usually we are headed somewhere else more complicated
than that. Well, thank you, Lwanda, for being with us this morning. We truly appreciate your time here. I think you being here usifundisa into eninzi. Literally, I've become a fraction of a somachiza.
You're getting there.
During these
You're
past
getting
weeks,
there.
yes.
Yeah.
I was speaking to my colleague yesterday, and she was showing me her rash, and I said, I think that's a winter allergy. So I think I'm getting there. So thank you so much for coming here, and we're looking forward to the meetup that we have next week on a different topic entirely.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Lwanda. Well, that's it. Lwanda, every single Wednesday, he brings to us, a lot of knowledge, and we bring to him questions. This week is World Tobacco Week. So on the 31st is going to be World Tobacco Day. It is saying no to tobacco, and now we've heard all the effects of it and what it does to your body. So be sure that you literally stay away from tobacco. Okay, I ask you to do that. 29 past the hour of 8 o'clock on the KNR Breakfast Show. Good morning to you, wherever it is that you're tuning in from. It is Likiawaya, Altim Nandi, as well as yours, keeping you company all the way up until 9 a.m. Enjoy.